Welcome, everyone. So happy that we're all here together this morning. If we haven't yet met yet, my name is Danielle. A little bit about myself. I'm a registered herbalist with the American Herbalists Guild and Holistic Nutritionist. I'm the Instructor of Mycology at the Colorado School of Clinical Herbalism, where I'm typically based in Boulder, Colorado. And at Four Sigmatic, I am our national educator. And I'm so excited to be talking about one of my favorite new things that we've been up to, which is our plant-based protein today. So we're going to go over a little bit about why protein is so important, how much you should take, when you should take it, and then we're actually trying a live recipe. So I'm going to turn my kind of computer and phone in a minute or about halfway through, and then I have this really exciting recipe that I'm going to share with you, and we're going to actually make a protein shake together on screen. As always, I love these to be as organic as possible. I want to answer all of your questions. So if you do have questions, please ask them in the Q&A. You will see that at the bottom of your screen. So we're not going to use the chat. Instead, please ask any questions you have throughout in that Q&A section. And I will leave time at the end to get to as many of your questions as possible, but don't wait till the end to write your questions in. So as soon as you think of whatever it might be that you're curious about, please feel free to ask it there, and then I'll go through them in the order that they came in. So I do have to mention just a little PSA that with these questions that you're going to be asking, I have to remind you I'm not your healthcare practitioner. So if you do have specific questions about either your personal health or a specific disease, please check in with your healthcare practitioner, and always check out recommendations of the CDC and World Health Organization. Okay, so nutrition. Protein. Wow, protein is nutrition's golden child, is what we call it often here at Four Sigmatic, right? There's these three macronutrients. We have our fats, our carbohydrates, and our proteins, and it seems that both the fats and carbohydrates have kind of had their time in the shadow or in the spotlight, in a negative spotlight. And protein is kind of through and through this golden child of nutrition. And why is that so? So essentially what proteins do is they act as building blocks, right? It's this idea we are what we eat. We are so much of protein as human beings, right? So they are these building blocks for not only our muscles and our bones, things like our cartilage, our skin, even our blood. They're also building blocks, so foundational compounds to many of the enzymes, hormones, and even vitamins that are essential for well-being and optimal health, right? So all in all, what is protein doing? It builds you, right? And it's not that protein is just for athletes to rebuild and repair muscles after workouts. It really helps us to maintain our own muscle, so that we can keep doing all the activities we love to do, whatever those might be, right? So maintenance and building is really, really important. It also helps you feel full, right? Giving you this overall balance in your day. And people are often asking like how much and when to take it. And why it's important to incorporate protein into our diets is our bodies can't make protein. We can't store our own protein. And so essentially we need to get it from outside nutrients, right? We need to incorporate it into our diet. And I always recommend having a little bit of protein at different parts throughout your day. So instead of just having a big protein-rich dinner or all of your protein in the morning, to maximize absorption of the protein, it's really important to break it up. So having a little bit in every meal or even through snacks like a protein shake that we're about to make today. And if you're wondering how much protein you should be getting, so our kind of rough breakdown is take your weight, and then we actually want to convert your weight from pounds into kilograms. And the easiest way to do that, just take your weight and divide it by 2.2. Okay, so you'll have that number. And from that number, let's say you are fairly active, you do maybe a 30-minute workout 4 or 5 times a week. Your weight in kilograms times that by 0.8 or 1. So about that number is, for most of us that might work out a few times a week, 30 minutes. If you are an endurance athlete, right, and are really working your body hard, you're going to want to increase that a little bit. So your weight in kilograms, multiply that by maybe 1.1 or 1.2. So you're going to be wanting a little bit more grams of protein per day. And if you're like a strength and conditioning athlete, you're doing all those HIIT workouts and really getting after it at your stay-at-home workout classes, then you're going to want to multiply your weight in kilograms by about 1.2 to 1.5. And that final number will be the grams of protein that you want to incorporate balanced throughout multiple meals in a day. So plant-based protein, I've been a plant-based eater for many years, and we just want to make sure when we're eating from a plant-based diet that we're getting a balanced amino acid profile. So you've probably heard the common combination, eat rice and beans to make sure you're getting a complete protein. So what we've done in our plant-based protein with superfoods, this product that we're going to be using in the demo today, is we've used protein from 5 different plant-based sources. And we've chosen this so that we do have a full balanced amino acid profile. And these 5 plant-based sources are coconut, pumpkin, hemp, chia, and pea. And so we have these 5 sources, and they add up to 18 grams of protein per serving. So in one of our packets, or in one scoop, if you use our canister, you're getting 18 grams of plant-based protein. But what's so exciting about this protein is it's so much more than just a protein product, right? At Four Sigmatic, we're all about elevating routines, right? Creating better and better for you options for the things that you may already be doing. And so in this protein, we also include 1,500 milligrams of functional mushroom and adaptogen extracts. So there are 5 functional mushrooms in here. We have chaga, reishi, lion's mane, cordyceps, and turkey tail. And we have 2 adaptogens. We have ashwagandha and eleuthero. So if you've been to previous webinars over the past couple weeks, we have talked so much about the importance of functional mushrooms for immune support and adaptogens for stress support. And I think it's really safe to say that all of us are looking for support in those 2 areas. And so this protein is not only shelf stable and this nutritious meal, right, for less than $4 a serving, you're also getting 1,500 milligrams of those mushrooms and adaptogens every serving. The other thing I want to mention with it is it's almost as important to talk about what's not in this protein as it is to talk about what's in it. And so I'm often confused, like, how did we fit everything that we did in this protein? And I think part of it is due to all the things that we left out, right? So there's no gums, there's no fillers, there's no stevia, there's no soy, there's no gluten. It's truly whole food based, all really pure, pronounceable ingredients that are beneficial for whole body wellness. And let's see. Okay, cool. We have, thanks for those chatting into the Q&A. I just wanted to make sure I was getting to you. But yeah, so I'm so excited about this protein, so clean. The unflavored is what we're going to be using today. And it's truly unflavored. It's really pleasant tasting. It is not chalky. It has a really smooth mouthfeel, and you can use it in pretty much as many ways as your imagination can think of. Of course, protein is really easy, especially in a powder, to make up in a smoothie. So I'm going to be showing you a really delicious, simple smoothie that I believe really elevates the experience of drinking this protein. But I've loved talking to people lately and hearing that they're making protein pancakes or baking with it. So as many ways as you can think of to use it, I encourage you to get creative. And beyond this recipe that I'll be sharing today, we have so many awesome recipes about protein on our social channels. So if you're like, what else can I do with this? I want to drive you all to our Instagram to get more inspiration. At Four Sigmatic is where you can find us, and keep playing and finding new and new ways to use this product. So, okay. I'm gonna see if we can turn my computer. Okay, so great question while I'm still here before we get into live demo is, yeah, so about other flavors. So all of our proteins, so we have 3 flavors right now. As I mentioned, we'll be using the unflavored, but we also have a peanut butter flavor and a creamy cacao. All 3 of these flavors have 18 grams of plant-based protein per serving. Okay, Heather is asking, will the heat from baking or cooking compromise the efficacy or potency of it? And what's so amazing about functional mushrooms and adaptogens, functional mushrooms are adaptogens, in fact, is that heat doesn't affect their potency. So what we've done at Four Sigmatic is we've pre-extracted our mushrooms. So mushrooms actually require either heat or ethanol to break down this really tough cell wall that they are comprised of and enable all of the nutrients in those mushrooms to become bioavailable to our bodies. Okay, so heat, and I love the world of raw food, and mushrooms are kind of the exception to that. They really do need either high heat or an alcohol like a tincture to be able to break down and make sure that our mushrooms are all the goodness inside of our mushrooms are actually able to be utilized by our human bodies. And so what we've done at Four Sigmatic is we've pre-extracted the mushrooms. And so what you're getting, whether it's in a packet of our protein or your mushroom coffee or your hot cocoa, is a product that's ready to use. We've already heated it, we've already extracted it. And so from that packet, you can go ahead and bake with it, you can drink it cold, and it won't affect the potency. It'll be just as potent. So great question, Heather. Okay. So yeah, Dana is asking that she has the superfood protein repair in the tall bluish can. Yes, that is the exact same product as we'll be using. We recently gave all of our Four Sigmatic products a fresh new look. So a rebranded product, but you, Dana, are having the exact same formula as the one that we're going to be making today. And with this unflavored, I'll show you in a minute when we go to the live recipe station. We offer this in both the unflavored in both the single serving packets, as well as a bulk 15 serving canister. So if you are making your protein at home, the canister might be a good option for you. If you prefer to take them on the go and have a pre-dosed packet, we have you covered there too. Okay. Yeah, so Lindar, I hope we answered your question as well, that we do. I'm gonna just sneak and show you the canister since you're all asking about it. So this is the canister, 15 serving, same exact formula. It's just what is easier for you to use. Okay. Yay, Laura, where can we order the product? So at the very end of this webinar, like always, I'm going to be sharing a discount code that I made for you as a thank you for being here. So I'm going to share that, and then you can use it on foursigmatic.com, and stay tuned, and I'll share that with you in just a moment. Okay. Yeah, so someone's asking, will the formula be somewhere else? I didn't quite get that formula for how much protein. Yeah, so 18 grams of plant-based protein, 5 different plant-based sources. If you want to go back and listen to any of this, we're going to post it on YouTube after, so you can go do that. And of course, follow up with us, support at Four Sigmatic, any questions you have, even after this, if they come later. Okay, and I'll get to the rest of your questions soon, but we're going to go ahead and do this live demo. So bear with me. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, this is our little station, and I'm going to move this other camera as well. And we got it. Okay, so I'm going to be really silly and kind of crouch down like this. But what we're going to use, I'm going to just use a packet for ease. And I have my Vitamix here. You can use any blender that you have at home. And I'm going to start by putting the full contents of the packet in the bottom of my blender. And then I really wanted a colorful treat for you all today. So we're gonna be making a bright purple smoothie. And to do that, I have about a quarter to a half a cup of blueberries. I'm gonna put fresh blueberries in. I have the same amount, about a half a cup of fresh sliced strawberries. And you can use them frozen as well, totally optional, whatever you have available. And a little bit of coconut. So I have coconut flakes, and I'm gonna put half of them in the smoothie and then save half of them to sprinkle on top of my cup after, which makes it feel really special. So I'm gonna put maybe just like a quarter of a cup, even a little less of that coconut. And I have about a cup of oat milk. You can use any nut milk of your choice. You can even use water, but we're doing oat milk today. We'll show you what it's looking like. And then a good old banana. So I'm gonna do a full banana. Just break it into small bits. And then last but not least, I have about a full cup of ice. And don't worry, I'm gonna put myself on mute so you all don't have to listen to the Vitamix blending, but it should only be a few seconds. And I'm gonna show you the color and how to sprinkle some coconut on top. So we're gonna put it on, mute you so I don't hurt your ear. All right, thanks for bearing with me as I blended that. And as you can see, we have this really gorgeous color, bright purple smoothie. And just like that. So again, this recipe is banana, berries of your choice. I chose to use blueberries and strawberries, coconut, ice, and then a little bit of nut milk. It's pretty simple. Optional on top, again, is that little bit of coconut to really have it be a picture-worthy smoothie. And there you have it. All right, I'm gonna see what questions you all have. So Patricia is asking, do the flavored proteins have natural flavors? No, they don't. So that's one of my favorite things about our different flavors of protein. We actually never use natural flavors at Four Sigmatic, and that is also the case with our protein. So with the peanut butter flavor, we've added organic peanut flour to give it that peanut flavor and taste to it, but no natural flavors. And then with the creamy cacao flavor, we've added organic cacao powder and organic coconut milk powder, which gives it that really creamy chocolatey taste without any natural flavors. Awesome question. So we don't have the canisters for other flavors yet. We just have it for the unflavored so far. Always we're wanting to know what you are all looking for. So if you do want that, definitely reach out to us, support at Four Sigmatic, and we take into account every person that asks for things like that so we can continue to grow and evolve our product line to make what you're looking for. Yeah, do you taste mushrooms? Lindsay's asking. Not at all. And for those of you that maybe drink Four Sigmatic products more regularly, maybe you can also share with Lindsay, just like, don't take my word for it. I do really want you to try it yourself. But so many of the functional mushrooms that we use at Four Sigmatic, they actually don't taste anything like many of the mushrooms that you might be used to thinking about when you hear the word mushroom. So they're very different than a portobello mushroom that you might cook up and put on a pizza. They're functional mushrooms, meaning they primarily grow on trees, and they have more of a bitter, earthy flavor to them. So none of that really umami flavor that so many of us think of when we hear mushroom. So and then especially in our formulas like our protein, you would have no idea that there were functional mushroom extracts in there. It truly is unflavored. The peanut butter tastes like peanut butter. The cacao tastes like chocolate. So awesome question. And Lindsay, we have 100% satisfaction guarantee. So if you do purchase our protein or any other products on foursigmatic.com, and if you don't like it for any reason, we have truly the best customer support team, and we'll always refund you if you don't love anything. So we really want to encourage going for it, trying it, and knowing that there's no harm there. Beetroot. Yeah. So that's a great question. The question is, can you suggest how to use beetroot? Can we mix it? What else can we mix it with? Yeah, beet smoothies are some of my favorite smoothies. That's another way to get a really beautiful purple color. A lot of the times when I make beet smoothies, I use our creamy cacao flavors. So it gives it kind of this sweet, chocolatey, rich purple color and taste to it. So you could do something really similar to this, but instead of the banana and the berries that we used, you could add beets, and the cacao flavor would be awesome with that ingredient. Is the protein sweet? Yeah, really good question. It is. None of our Four Sigmatic products are overly sweet. We never have more than a few grams of sugar in any of our products, and that's always going to be coming from coconut. There's no stevia in this protein, which is really unique for a plant-based protein. And so the only sweetness here is coming from a little bit of organic coconut palm sugar and lucuma, which is this wonderful, it's a fruit. It kind of looks like a mixture between an avocado and a mango. And it's a low glycemic sweetener. So it doesn't affect your blood sugar level. But it does add kind of like a sweet butterscotch almost flavor to it. It's really, really subtle in our protein. So we always want to bridge that gap between something tasting delicious and something being good for you, right? There's often that choice, like, okay, do I have something that I really enjoy, or do I have something that maybe doesn't taste awesome, but I know is really beneficial for my health? And we're trying to meet in the middle, right? Give you both. So you can always add more sweetness to it if you want a little more sweet, but on its own, it's not overly sweet at all. Great question. Yeah, you can use any milk. I just mentioned plant-based milk or nut milks because at Four Sigmatic we're a plant-based company, but you can use any milk that you want. Right? I used to tell my clients in my private practice that the medicine doesn't work if you don't take it. So what's going to be easy for you? What's part of your routine? I'd encourage as much as possible seeing what you already have in your cupboard. Like one of the simplest ways to make this protein, you could literally just mix it with water. You can use half a banana and some water, and it's delicious that way. But yeah, if you're already drinking milk or you have that in your refrigerator, use that, right? We want to, more than coming up with the coolest, fanciest recipe, it's just getting these nutrients into your body. So what's going to be easy for you? What's convenient? And I encourage you to make a recipe with things that you have, and using things. Yeah, so lucuma, hopefully I answered that question. Lucuma is this awesome fruit. That might have been a few moments ago. Yeah, sometimes protein can be heavy on the digestive system. So great question. I find this to be pretty light. So 18 grams of protein, a lot of, depending on your activity level, could be more of a snack or even a meal replacement. So definitely think about your own diet, what you're used to consuming. But there is a really, really nice mix of plant-based proteins to give you kind of a gentle feeling of being full. I know I feel so full after I have my protein smoothie, but it shouldn't be too heavy for you. And of course, listen to your own body always, right? And that's with both Four Sigmatic products and just in life. Your body is your best guide. So regardless of what I say, tune into your own body. Always take that as your best teacher. And if it feels like too much, start with half a packet, right? And that goes for our protein or any of the other Four Sigmatic products you're using, especially if you're totally new to consuming superfoods like functional mushrooms and adaptogens. Start small, allow your body to adjust and build up, and then you can always increase your dosage after about 4 or 5 days to a week, and then continue to check back in. How do I feel? How do I feel? And use that as your compass, your guide. Yeah, Patricia is asking if it can be blended into a hot beverage, such as coffee. Absolutely. My coworker and dear friend Bryce has been doing this and raving about it. I actually haven't tried it yet, but he's like, my favorite way to use our coffee is to blend it with his hot coffee. And it gives it this really creamy, kind of full-bodied cup of coffee. So absolutely give that a try. Yeah, asking to write down this smoothie recipe. I will absolutely write it down and include that in the follow-up email. So for all of you, I'm going to be sending you a follow-up email. I'll share the discount code there as well in case you forget what it is, and I'll write the smoothie recipe. Awesome questions. Ooh, Deirdre, I love your ideas. Deirdre, you're the best cook. She's saying, I want to play with a savory version. So beets, ginger, cilantro, and celery. Absolutely. And share those recipes. We've created a private Facebook group, if you're not in it yet, called the Shroom Club. And this is a place where all of you can have conversations with each other, share recipes, share how you're feeling, what you're cooking up and what concoctions you're making, and more. So just this safe space to discuss. And I would share that recipe there with everyone, Deirdre. That's amazing. Yeah, so even if you haven't worked out, I would absolutely recommend this protein powder, right? So it definitely goes above and beyond just for athletes. It does have plant-based protein, which all of us need, every human being, not just athletes. And especially if you work out, also recommend for that, right? After you work out, it totally depends on your body. I would say anywhere from, my kind of rule of thumb is 20, 30 minutes after a run or maybe more of a heavy workout to replenish my body with our plant-based protein, but up to you. Great question. Camille, yeah, so happy there's no stevia. Thank you, me too. Yeah, so not able to have cold foods is what Camille's saying. So looking for more recipes on how to use it cooked. Awesome. Yeah, and you can totally make warm or room temp smoothies. That kind of beet cacao smoothie that I mentioned earlier, I actually love making that warm as well. That's one of my winter go-tos. So you don't have to add ice. You can actually add warm or slightly boiled water if you do want kind of a warmer shake that would be more beneficial for your body. Or definitely check out our Instagram for more recipes of baking with our protein powder and using them in not cold ways. Okay, so I'll stay around and answer a few more questions, but I do want to make sure I give you all our discount code so you can use the code for 15% off the rest of the day today up until tomorrow, and the code is Protein Webinar 15. So Protein Webinar 15 to get 15% off Four Sigmatic website until the end of the day tomorrow. And if you do have questions that I haven't gotten to, please feel free to stay in touch. Email us at support@foursigmatic.com. We are always here for you. We're an open book, and let me know what you want to see next. So thank you all so much for being here, and I will talk to you soon. Have a wonderful day.